is 6 p.m. on a Sunday, Mountain Time. Of course, your time's going to be different if you don't live in Mountain Time. But I just wanted to, I was talking today with dear sweet Dawn, and she'll probably be in a little bit, that we need a little bit longer conversation sometimes in a way to wrap up the week. So I figured, why not start doing a Sunday, something a little bit more relaxed than the rest of the week, and talk about all the other stuff that is going on in the world. And we can also talk about geoengineering. So I really want a more aggressive chat. And if you guys want to be part of the conversation, reach out to me and I can send you a link to my video, and we'll get you on the screen. If not, just comment in the chat and I'll start watching this. But I think that one of the number one things that I want to talk about is I'm hearing a lot of people screaming about Yellowstone and that it's going to blow and it's going to be this apocalyptic approach. And I really don't think that it is. I think that what's going to happen is this article I was reading, I think what's going to happen is that it's going to be letting off steam. I think that crater that is there was 1 million years old, 400,000 years or something like that. But that was kind of the initial boom. And then all of a sudden, we've got steam vents and everything all over Yellowstone. I don't think that we're going to see that apocalyptic explosion. What do you guys think in the chat? Do you guys think that we're going to have that apocalyptic explosion? Are we going to have, Yellowstone going off? Because we also have a huge volcano, another super volcano, 300 miles off the coast of Oregon. Let me see if I can find that. O-R-E. Bear with me because I don't have the best typing skills. Oregon, VOLC. Here we go. So we've got the Axel Seamount. It is 300 miles off the coast of Oregon, and it's sitting down like 4,300 feet. That's a lot of water. Now, there's going to be some gases that come out of that. There's going to be, something when you have a volcano that big. We don't really know, but I don't think that it's going to be devastating. I think that we'll get ash, and I think that ash is going to get caught up in the, in the stream there. But I don't think that we're going to see a huge trail of ash and destruction out of either one of these volcanoes. But what I do find interesting is we had that earthquake up there in Alaska, Alaskaearth, Alaska earthquake. So this was just the other day, July 16th. Something interesting is happening here because we're having a lot of seismic activity. We're having tremendous, historic weather. And we are also seeing people, blaming it on, let me see. So it was blaming it on climate change, which is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life. The climate changes, but especially when you screw with it, it is going to be, doing some damage. Let's see. Rick Spanish, 61. The moon's orbit is getting more elongated and oval in shape. It's also moving up and down along the equatorial lunar plane. This is changing the sun, earth, moon, the electrical dynamo, and will result in stronger quakes and more volcanism. Ricky Spanish 61. I like that. I like that explanation. It's interesting that we are also completely covering and irradiating the skies. And let me find my handy dandy fire map here, because this is going to really kind of show what's going on here. We have got literally fires and smoke all over the West. It is so bad every year, and smoke conducts electricity. Fire, of course, dries out the entire area. So we can say, yes, the moon, its orbit, and who thinks that the moon is real? I mean, there's a lot of a question. Is our moon real? It does not spin. It's probably the only moon that I've ever heard of that does not spin in all of our research. How is that happening? And it also speeds up and slows down so it can keep that same face pointed towards the earth. With the sun, the sun releases a ton, and I mean a ton of energy. You would think that would spin it, even over the thousands of years that man has been watching the moon. You would think that, okay, there's got to be some change in it, but it never changes. How is that possible? I'm going to start saying hello to some people. Of course, Christy, nice to see you here tonight. Hi, Babushka. LaShawn, hey. We've got Pat. Pat's working his ass off. Dr. Naomi Wolf is now talking to Pat on a regular basis. Didn't I just see Pat another post that she responded to, that she put up? Good job there, bringing people into the fold. And her concern, naturally, because there's a lot of tinfoil hat-esque into anything that is not supported by the mainstream media. So she's a little concerned that if she gets involved in the Clear Skies movement, that there's going to be a lot of crazy people in here. She is going to be absolutely thrilled when she finally realizes that, we've got a lot of great people here. And that is what is, I think, what is the best part of the Clear Skies movement. We're level-headed. We do our research. We don't put out a lot of ridiculousness. Look, Dawn is there. Hi, Dawn, baby. There we go. Let's see. Yeah, LaShawn says, Pat, he's our man. No one does it better than Pat can. I agree. Absolutely. So now, speaking of crazy, what do you guys think about this? Oh, yes. Tulsi Gabbard has announced that there are whistleblowers coming out of the woodwork from the Obama administration. They are disgusted by what happened. Do you not find it funny, like I do, that now, today, years after what has happened, that now is when they are coming out of the woodwork? They never came out of the woodwork when Trump was in office the first time, when Biden was in office, when Obama was in office. Nobody said anything about a man who was born in a foreign country, not a naturalized U.S. citizen, lies about him being gay, about his wife being transgendered, about the fact that they literally rented those kids. And I guarantee you that his buddy got a windfall like you wouldn't believe. And who's the money behind that? I think that it's time that we start seeing some arrests. Are we going to see the man who pushed the coup against a sitting president, Donald Trump? Are we going to see any arrests? Are you guys ready for arrests? Is anybody? Yeah. How about the birth certificate? Let's bring that up, because every professional worth their salt has said that it was doctored, and it wasn't doctored very good. That's the other part. I mean, who did it? Did Michael sit there and say, all right, honey, I'll put your birth certificate together? I'm thinking that's how it went, but nothing new. Everything was suspected. Everything we knew happened, finally coming to light. Babushka, you're exactly right. LaShawn says, I'm super stoked. Lock them all up. And that's what I want. I want these I want these people who have done so much damage to America to be thrown in jail, throw the key away, and we want our money back. I want the millions and billions that they stole out of the public trough to be returned. And then, of course, we know that Joe Biden was a goof-filled sock puppet. He had nothing but oatmeal going up in his head, and they auto-penned everything. I saw like a little funny today. And it was the auto pen in front of a congressional hearing, and it says the auto pen pleads the fifth. That's exactly how it is. Let's see. Let's go take a look and see what else we got there. MJ Truth Ultra. Oh yeah, you know what? I'll pull this up. We'll drop that right in here. Because this is, where'd that go? Where'd that go? Oh, maybe I can find it here also. Let's search here. TRUMP. And there we go. Donovan, here we go. Real Donald Trump. Let's see if he posted it here, because he posted a thing. We just caught the failing New York Times working with fake CNN, cheating again. Okay, that has nothing to do with that. He posted something. Is that what that is? Let me copy that link and see if we can paste this link here. Paste, and we'll do. There we go. Wow, look what President Trump just posted. Do we have
democracy? But the real threat is not speculation.
Pull that.
This is documented fact. For years, they told us Trump was the threat to democracy, but the real threat was the attempt to remove him. On December 9, 2016, inside the Obama White House, a classified meeting took place. Present were CIA Director John Brennan, DNI James Clapper, FBI Deputy Director Andrew McCabe, and several senior officials. Barack Obama was there, and what they discussed would become the most coordinated political deception in U.S. history. Just days earlier, an internal intelligence community report concluded Russia had not altered the outcome of the 26th election. On December 7, DNI Clapper reaffirmed it. Quote, "Foreign adversaries did not use cyber attacks on critical infrastructure to alter the U.S. presidential election outcome." End quote. But that wasn't the story the Obama administration wanted. So after that White House meeting, Clapper's executive assistant sent out an email. The order: prepare a new intelligence assessment, one that aligned with the president's request. That's right. Intelligence was politicized at the highest level.
Yep.
Under the direction of a sitting president, to frame the incoming one.
Does anybody else see a major problem with this? What we're talking about is the complete and utter breakdown of the United States of America political and governance system. It's just, I think, more frightening than we want to believe. We've got Tulsi Gabbard now is calling for Obama to be prosecuted over the 2016 election claims. But what about, what about the other things that Obama has been involved in? Because if we don't go after everything, then we're really leaving loopholes, ways for Obama to get absolutely. We're going to pull that up. Go after his birth certificate, like LaShawn said. If we don't go after every bit of this, then we're leaving loopholes. What about this? Bang, his chef, who it is rumored that he had a long-term, over 6-year affair with his chef, and then his chef was writing a tell-all book, and all of a sudden this guy winds up dead in 3 feet of water. And who killed him? I guess that's the other thing that we really want to ask is, who is the one that did the dirty work. I don't know. Let's take a look at the chat. I'll tell you, I really miss having Miss Dawn here because she keeps a good eye on the chat. Let's go back to here we go. Yeah, and Babushka, where is Hunter? Why has Hunter fallen completely off the radar there? Any of the Bidens. I mean, Joe's brother and his daughter and his wife. Good God. Ricky Spanish 61. The danger of Yellowstone supervolcano isn't real, at least at the moment. We will know far in advance before an eruption because the entire area would be rising from magma being pushed up from below. That's what I think. I think that we are going to have a lot of warning with this. It has like a magma top that is releasing pressure on the regular, and that's why you have all those, Old Faithful and all those guys coming up also. So we're gonna see something, something from it on a regular basis. It's releasing steam and pressure, but I don't think that we're gonna have that huge eruption. But it does beg the question, if we're not, then why isn't anyone talking about the release of pressure, right? They're not saying, oh, it's releasing pressure, we don't have to be worried about the big blow up. No, we get all these maps and everything, and I was, I'm guilty of it because I just talked about the ash fallout the other night, but it got me thinking, wait a minute, why is there no discussion about what the reality of it is? And so I started thinking about that and started looking into it. Well, let's see, what else? Trump posted it. It's worth the watch. Yes, that definitely is worth the watch. I hope they do something this time. If they don't, then there's no point in telling us anymore. Yet there is no point in telling us anymore. And there's no point in having a United States of America that we pay our taxes to. Because if we are being lied to, and these aren't little lies, right? When you don't arrest someone who never had the right to be president, when you allow that, it's like Ileana Omar, right? Or Ileana Omar, Ileana Omar, I don't know. She shouldn't even be allowed in the country. She married her brother, for crying out loud, just to get him in. I mean, that you've got people with felonies in office. I'm tired of paying for that. I don't know. Are you guys, anybody else tired of paying for it? Let's see. I'm going to go in and take a look at the chat here. Danger Yellowstone. All right. Well, it looks like Ilion. All right. Thank you, Babushka. So Obama's got the gift certificate, the birth certificate. He weaponized America with the Smith Modernization Act of 2012. He weaponized propaganda, and now all of mainstream media, and that's why mainstream media is dead. Who out there, by a show of hands, I got to pull my hand down, who out there even watches mainstream media news anymore? I don't even watch Fox News. It's been about 2 years. I just got so sick and tired of, actually, it's probably even been more than that. 2 or 3 years now that I haven't even watched Fox News. I tried watching Newsmax, but as soon as the whole Tucker Carlson thing happened and they pulled all the producers and everybody over from Fox, it just became another mouthpiece for the propaganda machine. I don't know. It'd be interesting to look into their finances, see who their big investors are, because their news has turned to this just ridiculous corporate media. But you know what? I'm happy about that because it opens up for the individual, the citizen news media to just explode. And it absolutely has. Let's see what else people are saying. Pat says, I watch golf. There we go. And, every now and then, I would watch golf. I'm a big college football fan, but I don't even know, honestly, if I'm going to watch college football this year. It's become so political. I do not want politics in my sports. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of men posing as women going up against real women. I was an athlete. There's no way that a woman should have to compete against a man. That's just the way it is. When men are built to protect women, protect our families, protect our friends or our community, protect our country, men are built for that. Women bring out the best in the men. They keep them settled. They make sure that their lives are better. Women literally are the truest gift to humankind that we have ever had. And yet, you want to put a man up, and Obama. Obama started this whole thing. He gayified the entire country and then pushed it around the world. USAID. They exposed that. Giving money to the Saudi regime, giving money to the Taliban, right? Training our U.S. military in high heels. It's the most ridiculous bullshit I have ever heard in my life. That man needs to go to prison for the rest. He should be shot for treason. Correct me if I'm wrong. Somebody tell me if you think that Obama should just get off easy, lose everything, and Michael. We've got to go Michael. And I think that we need to dig deep into the people that were around him, Valerie Jarrett, Susan Rice. Oh my God, Rahm Emanuel in his first term, and Rahm's as crooked as they come also. I think that what we need to do, and the Bushes, his mom was a cousin of the Bushes. Talk about incestuous political relationships, nepotism, just running absolutely wild. Christy says, I watch zero TV or movies, all propaganda, and it is. It really is. I wish I could say the same. I like a good movie. I'm a huge fan, as you guys may have heard the other night, of zombies, and of course the 28 days, 28 weeks, and I haven't seen 28 years later yet, but I just find them fun. And I watched Game of Thrones. I really enjoyed that. I loved the first number of seasons of The Walking Dead, but that last season or two, it just became, you felt that they were holding on. And then the comeback show is just worthless. But do you guys like it? Well, we're gonna New Madrid fault line earthquake is the mega disaster that could happen. But yeah, I agree that the New Madrid. We have to look. That's Ricky Spanish 61. Ricky, we have to look at the neutrino ice project, the Project Ice Cube, that is it's the most powerful weapon on the planet today. It can crack the earth whenever and wherever it wants. I believe that it did the earthquake up in Alaska, Sandpoint, Alaska. I think that of course the moment they turned it on, bang, across the planet, over in Christchurch, New Zealand, big, massive earthquake. None forecast, no rumblings. All of a sudden, a place that we never knew had an earthquake has an earthquake. So yeah, New Madrid, completely. But do I think that our planet is completely being toyed with? Yeah, the moon affects the weather here. But I think that we are now playing God. Who out there? We need term limits, Pat. Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. LaShawn says I canceled cable 2 years ago. Let's see. Victim, I love zombie movies. series and books. So do I. I mean, it's George Romero did us a big favor by Night of the Living Dead. And that really kicked it all off, because I think that it's like hauntingly beautiful. You know what I also love? So when I was young, we moved from Alaska. I think I was 4 years old. And we spent 6 months living in central Mexico, just on the outskirts of Mexico City. We ended up fleeing in the middle of the night. My dad woke each one of us up and said, pack what you can carry. Do not turn on any lights. We went out, and his friend Mauricio, was waiting out there with 2 cars. We loaded us 5 kids and the 2 adults and just what we could carry in, and fled Mexico. And we got in and out of other taxis and on and off buses. And I mean, it was like we were trying to lose somebody. Got on a train, and then it was about 12 days and nights. Just it was the old like choo choo type of train that we just crawled through the mountains, stopped at every burg. It is what you see on the movies, from the 1800s. That, honest to God, was the type of train that it was. I'm not sure where I was going with this, but Mexico, I mean, it has, I know, it has the Day of the Dead, and I loved that celebration. I turned 5 years old in Mexico. I learned a few words like rojo, si, no, because that was easy enough. But, and agua, por favor, más agua. There we go. We now know all the Spanish that I know. But my point is that they had Day of the Dead, and it was a celebration. It's not meant to be scary. It's a celebration of your ancestors. We turned that into Halloween, All Hallows Eve. And that All Hallows Eve was supposed to be a celebration of the dead. And we allowed corporate America to move in and then destroy every shred of family that holidays are supposed to be about. And now it is about candy, and it's not even real candy anymore. Let's see. Christy says Russia had a 7.4 today too. Look at that. Yeah. I mean, they're busting up. I honestly believe that either we have lost control of the weaponized weather, right? The geoengineering war. And we've triggered something that now either needs to go through a cycle or cannot stop, or we are purposely being butchered as a race, because these storms don't just affect the people. It destroys the land. I mean, it releases molds. It releases. Did anybody see that? Hold on, my buddy Craig's calling. Hey, Craig, can I call you back? I'm doing a show tonight. Where I'm doing 3 hours of live. Of what? I'm doing a live stream for 3 hours tonight, and you're on the air right now.
Oh, how exciting!
Yeah, exactly. So I'll call you back tomorrow.
Fine.
All right, I'll talk to you later.
Later, man.
Bye. Yeah, I think that what's going on is that we are destroying the planet. There's nothing else that I can see good coming out of this. There's no other reason. Oh, wait, I do know of another reason why we're doing this. Here, let's take a look at this. Weather trading. It is beyond my comprehension that we have a weather trading on. So these are contracts that you buy, right? This isn't the stock market. This is a commodity. They've turned weather into a commodity. And with any commodity, one thing that we look at, with oil, we have to have a certain amount of production to guarantee an investor will make money. Now, the prices go up, the prices go down, and the oil market is horrifically manipulated. There's no real market there. And one of the reasons they put these markets together, the ETFs, all of it, is so they can manipulate the market with your and my money. Farmers will buy futures in cattle or in grain or corn or wheat to offset what could be a loss for them, right? So they'll go short or they'll go long on it. But here we have weather being traded as a commodity. And not just look at all these product names that we have. And I'm going to just zip to the very end on this. We've got 21 pages plus 2 more of different type of products. Let's go to 19. Let's see. Oh, there we go. You can say, hey, Vegas, CDD, July, a seasonal strip, right? So these are futures. What do you think? What do you think's going to go on in the Las Vegas weather? Is it going to be hot? Is it going to be cold in July? So my question is this, and you guys can answer me on that. Do you think that when you have the ability to trade futures like this, to trade the weather, you don't think it's manipulated? I'm saying it is. I'm not pulling punches. I'm going to say it is. I got to look on my phone for the chat because it comes up. Oh, Breaking Bad was great. Speaking of the movie, Christy, or the thing. So LaShawn, what do you think of The Handmaid's Tale? Right? I thought that it. I watched the first episode. I wasn't too thrilled, and I love the lady that's leading that. But I first saw her in what was it called? Mad Men, and that was fantastic. That show was incredible. Let's see, Vectum. The first Dawn of the Dead was my introduction. We missed a bus, and next one was 2 hours later. We walked into the movie having no idea what we were in for. Right? I mean, it was like so much fun and so different than anything else that we saw. Let's see. Vectum also says, I had no idea that weather was a gambling thing. Well, so that is the point right there, is it's not a gamble for the very big money that gets into it. The only gamble are the little people like you and me, right? Because we don't know. The big money, the United States of America, heavily invested in stock markets and commodity markets, not just here, all around the world. The Hang Seng, the European markets, the German markets, all of the markets, the United States are heavily invested. And do you think that we ever get any of that profit? No, not at all. What they do is they manipulate these markets, and weather is extremely popular in investing. I think we should ask, what is the cap on the Chicago Exchange weather market? WEATHER weather market. Let's see if we can get any information here. All right, put price. Well, I don't think we're going to get a definitive answer there. But here's what's interesting is not just CME Group, but I've looked at a lot of this. A lot of these companies have what's called block trading. And a block trading is a privately negotiated future option or combination transaction that is permitted to be executed apart from public auction. The public auction part is the market, right? We see every trade. It's supposed to be transparent. It's supposed to be that way. The fact that they allow this, first of all, it just absolutely chaps my hide. But secondly, the fact that it exists means that if you have enough money, you can get the right information, and then it's no longer a risk. There's no gambling involved. You're told, yes, we're going to actually burn down this part of the Northwest. And so you'll go short on the fire season. I don't think that The fire season's gonna be all that good. Bang. If they have a weak fire season, you make a lot of money. If you say, all right, yes, I think it's just going to burn like hell. It is going to be hell on earth. We're going to turn everything into cinders. And they've burnt entire towns down, not just in the Northwest. I mean, all through the West. You go long on that, I think it's going to really do well. Because they have information. And they also invest in companies like Bridger Air, right? The Sheehy's, Senator Sheehy up in Montana, his company, and that is a company that flies 747 sized tankers that put out wildfires. They don't really put them out. What they do is they steer these fires, right? We don't want it to burn over here because we've got bazillionaires living over there. And we don't want to burn over here because we've got a corporate farm or a corporate ranch there. But what we do want to do is take the Pacific Palisades out or completely erase a town from South Carolina. Yeah, absolutely. Lahaina, gone. We need that property so we can make it better, turn it into one of our 15-minute cities, and you're going to enjoy it, whether you like it or not. So you have block trades here. It doesn't really matter. All you have to do is have enough money. And who has enough money? Well, I'll tell you, the super rich, the elites, Jeff Bezos and Warren Buffett and the entire Soros family, the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers, the Clintons. Oh, and this fella here, he also has it. There we go. That fella's worth some $200 million now. That fella is worth $200 million. And he was president of the United States making $400,000 a year buying up homes. How do you make $200 million as a president, leave office with wealth beyond belief? How do you get that kind of money? It doesn't make any sense to me at all. Not in the least, not any bit at all. Oh, Dawn is showing me something. Hey, Sergey, this is Ricky Spanish 61. Please look at the replies. I just posted a leaked email to the Commodity Futures Trading Commission about needing to know when they are doing the weather modification. Okay, I got to go find that. That is fantastic. Baby, are you, I'm sorry, Dawn, are you getting on the mic? I have heard that I'm not supposed to call my beautiful betrothed baby, but it's so hard to just call her Dawn because I know that the sweetness and the wonderfulness and all of that, it brings me great joy that I get to call her my baby. But do you, okay, so I'm gonna turn your mic on over there, and then when she sits down. Yeah, I'm looking for the commodity thing right now, absolutely right now. Okay, so this one. Hold on, I'm looking. I'm doing what I can. Oh, you know what? Maybe I'll go here, and we'll take a look at this. I've got so many windows open; it's just difficult sometimes to really figure it out. So, well, that's not giving me anything there. All right, can you post that again so I can pull that up and find it, and that way we'll show everybody. So it's this one. Oh, okay. I can get it on my phone, but I'm not. For some reason, it won't let me click on it. I think I found it. I think I found it. All right, perfect. Here we go. Pulling that right over there. And click on the screen share. Here we go. The real NASA. All right. I like this. So I'm going to copy that link there. We're going to save this because I've got to really dig down into this. So paste that there. Okay. 1972, create earthquakes and volcanoes by manipulating the Earth's electrical charge. I'm sharing this. I am absolutely, and I'm going to follow back. I'm going to post this. Must read. There we go. I mean, this is the kind of information that absolutely can change the course of what everybody believes, because now we've got the truth coming out. Displacement is generally accompanied by development of earthquakes or occurrences of volcanic eruptions accompanied by lightning, thunder, and phenomena which are still unknown. That is exactly right. Here we go. So this is fascinating. Does anybody else find this fascinating? There we go. Oh, so we just had another 6.1 earthquake in the Alaskan Peninsula. Tsunami not expected. Posted an hour ago. Christy Lejeune, the co-founder of the Clear Skies Movement. Hey guys, by the way, if you have not, if you don't already follow me, follow me. It's for some reason I seem to lose more followers than I gain right now. It's it's a conundrum. It's weird. So go follow me and go check out my Substack at Sergey VS Goliath on Substack. And if you can, join for $5 a month. It really helps me out with keeping this movement funded. All right, so let's take a look at what we got here. Which are near them to produce. Let's go back. All right, some problems of earthquakes and their prevention, a discussion of the problems of volcanic activity. Yeah, absolutely. I can see how that'd be a problem. The portion of the Earth crust, which is the amount of positive electricity, has been increased by the causes mentioned above, can change the electrical charge on adjacent portions of the Earth's crust. So this is very much what we talk about with regularity. The Neutrino Ice Project, Raytheon's Project Ice Cube, and it's kind of a deceptive name because it's not about ice cubes. It's about putting 300 feet electrons down in the ice on an enormous pattern, and then focusing that like HARP on steroids to do any number of things. Was the anomaly, was that part of it? We have to ask that question because it doesn't have to just come from the Neutrino Ice Project, right? They can focus that wherever they want that explosion of energy to start. That's the thing that worries me right there is, who has the keys to that machine? Who's doing that? So this displacement is generally accompanied by the development of earthquakes or the occurrence of volcanic eruptions accompanied by lightning, thunder, and electromagnetic and geophysical phenomenon. That's right. It's just, and here we go. I mean, and does that not look like an X-rad or a Doppler? Just, and I know, Christy, who said the other night that that NextRad information that Ariana Masters put out was not necessarily accurate, because I'm wondering where that came from, and it really seems like there might be some sort of a connection because when you look at NextRad, 161 stations across America, and it is a frequency machine. We don't really know everything about it. As a matter of fact, we know about that much of a subject that's that large. So yeah, I think that there's something to be said about this. All right. Well, I'm gonna let you guys go to my page and check this out. Make sure that you follow Ricky Spanish 61 because it seems like he's digging up some really good information there. There we go. All right, let's take a look at the chat and see what people are saying. Let's see. Please look at the replies. Oh, got that. All right. This is Zen Moment. How you doing there? Nice to have you tonight. It is finished. Nice to see you tonight as well. Of course, we've got a lot of the wonderful regulars, and you guys. I'll tell you, we're doing well. For a month and a half, I guess we're into this now. Month and a half, we've got a show, and we're going anywhere from from about 500-600 to up. We've had 1,500 people. How many people are on tonight? That's a good question. I'll have Dawn take a look at that and see. So no, Victim, you are not alone. Now let's go take a look at this, because we were just about ready to start talking about it, and we got we were talking about something else. What do you guys think about this? Right, it is a story as old as time. The president of a tech firm is caught with his head of HR in a warm embrace at a Coldplay concert. Nothing wrong, except for the fact that they're both married. This speaks to somebody's character. Dawn and I always talk about how, we really loved, up until the 70s and even the 80s, right? There was still a semblance of public honor. You didn't just wash your dirty laundry out in front yard so everybody could see it. Why would you go? I'm pointing. I know I'm pointing over here, but I'll point there. There. All right. So why would you go to a Coldplay concert with your affair, and then had they done nothing? Had they just stayed like that and waved, I don't think anybody would have ever known. But let's take a look at their reaction.
All right, come on, you're okay? Oh, what? Either they're having an affair or they're just very shy.
Did you see that? That guy looked guilty, and so did she.
Yeah, well, everybody looked guilty, but the people around them were absolutely thrilled. They couldn't believe it. They were like, "Oh yeah, I'm on the screen." They didn't realize that they had just caught two big cheaters right there. All right, Christy, no alcohol, but I had Chianti with dinner. There are some wonderful Chiantis. We're experiencing a time, though, that, and let me see if I can find this article. Roundup discovered in California wine. Now, I know I'm saying California, but Roundup has been discovered in all sorts of wine. So here we go. Yes, studies have detected glyphosate with the active ingredient in the herbicide Roundup in some California wines. Well, it's a lot more than some. It's like 80%, 90% of them. And the ones that it isn't in are the extremely expensive things that the average person just simply can't afford. We're not going to be paying $500 a bottle for wine that doesn't have toxins in it. But while the levels are generally well-established safety limits, and I've got a problem with this, because weren't we told that the vaccine was safe? And now we have, how many people are dying of the vaccine? It's when they say something's safe, don't. Fluoride. Let's take a look at fluoride. 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 Neurotoxin. Recent scientific reviews of the research suggest a potential link between fluoride exposure and neurodevelopmental toxicity, particularly impacting children's cognitive development. decreased IQ, neural development effects, oxidative stress, and neuroinflammation, interference with neurotransmissions. What this means is essentially it's made our population stupider than it otherwise would be. And trust me, I see a lot of social media. There's a lot that, I mean, there is a lot of just crazy behavior out there. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that if the FDA says that something is safe or the EPA says something is safe, do you believe that? Let's take a look at this. In fact, Elon wants to keep the noticers quiet. Yes, absolutely. I mean, I am throttled on a daily basis. I have been human being. I have been posting sky photos all evening. Yeah, you know what? Let's go take a look at some of those. Let's see what we have there, human being. Because that is going to be interesting to me. Let's take a look and see what your sky looks like. Let's see. I got to close some of these windows because we've got a lot of stuff open on this. All right, here we go. X. We will go to human. Oh, hold on. There we go. Human. Human being. Let's go ahead and share that screen. Let's take a look. Hey, there's me. That's me right there. No, I'm serious. That's me. Look, it's my tie. It'll move in a minute if you don't believe me. We're almost there. Oh, and that's me again. Oh my God. It's like, oh my God, there's a lot of me. Baby, there's more me. More me to love. 334 views. We're not doing bad on a Sunday night. So let's take a look. Let's take a look at this, because my view is a lot less blue. Actually, I don't think we've had any blue today here in Boise. I don't. And look at see all that wisp and everything. This is not right. It's just they're toying with the sky. Human being, what state are you in? You don't have to give up your location. I'm not asking for an ID tag or anything on it, but look at this, and it's these blanket clouds and everything, and here we go. I mean, these are obviously, being worked over. Working him like a circus chimp right there. That's more what, like this part right up here. That's more what our skies have looked like all day long here. Going to look. Something in the New Hampshire water. China's richest man has been quietly acquired a large piece of land in New Hampshire, located right next to the state's water supply. Ooh, yeah. Anybody think that's good? It's ridiculous. And yeah, dead bees everywhere. I'll tell you, this is becoming a huge issue. The bee population just being slaughtered. So human being, good page. You're doing a great job there. Thank you very much. We'll just get back here. What else do we have? I was talking about the Elon Musk's, his next party, and having a little discussion if that is going to be good, bad, or indifferent. And I know I talked about it last night, or Friday night rather, with Senator Mastriano. What do you guys think? I mean, I really want to know. Do you think that we need more party representation? Do we need to put the Republican Party back online? But if we do you think that the deep state and the entrenched Republicans are going to just pull it back to where they are spending trillions of dollars of taxpayer money on their favorite, put men in high heels and parade them around, and virtually nothing in front of children approach. What do you think? I am Babushka, along with arsenic, makes a beautiful bouquet. Yeah, that is exactly what that sky looks like. Human Being says, gee, I wonder what we'll see when the facial recognition is in place. That is a really good point right there. Every step of technological advance that we have ever had, ever, and I'm saying ever, has been weaponized against the people. There's I don't know, I don't know if the Bushes hated America more or the Clintons, or I mean Obama Barack and Mike, absolutely. I've never seen a president that hated Americans more than those two. Just absolutely, without a doubt. It was all about everybody else. And then, of course, he put the goo-filled sock puppet Biden in, knowing that Biden was compromised. And I'm sure that Barack took his share of that. But all of a sudden, you have nothing left of our country and our party. But like Miss Dawn said the other day, the approval rating for the Democratic Party is down to 17%. So the Democratic Party is just about dead, right, baby? Exactly. You can pull your mic down if you want.
I'm just getting organized.
Oh, okay, all right. She's not on yet. Her shift doesn't start yet. Okay. Human Being, you've never drank California wine? Well, where are you located? Because
It's nasty.
with Josh, right? You got Josh and Juggernaut. And,
Every California wine has
I can't hear you. Pull your mic down so we can hear you.
Every California wine has poison in it now.
Yeah,
Roundup.
Well, not every, baby. The real expensive stuff doesn't.
Oh, duh.
Yeah,
You
so
sure?
$500 a bottle, bang, there you go. You don't get poisoned, and it's picking and choosing. Absolutely, picking and choosing just exactly what you who gets to not be poisoned based on financing. And I think that's ridiculous. So I think that if you use Roundup on your wine, we should be told. There you go, and we'll choose whether we want to or not. Oh, hold on. I'm plugging you in right now. There you go.
Thank you.
Hi, you're welcome. Well, Don, say hi to everybody.
Good evening, all.
It is it's already been a good start to our program. Let's see.
Babushka says no good unless Trump and his great people leave the party, but as is, it's terrible idea. They were much better, stronger together. I don't know what you guys were talking about, but
When we're talking about, do we, what do they think about Elon Musk starting a new party? Do we need that? Is it going to be beneficial? It's going to be detrimental? Astaway says, hi, Sergey. Thanks for all you're doing to get the word out about geoengineering. Guys, it's my pleasure. And it's not me. It's all of you. All I am is a mouthpiece. And I think too much. So you guys are the ones that are really make the impact. We're just leveraging that. Just a thought for our movement is that I think we will get more people to wake up to what's happening if we focus on SAI being used to combat climate change by the military and government rather than bringing up population control as the reason. Astaway, I completely understand what you're saying. I don't agree with you, because when we start hiding things for the sake of moving our agenda forward, we become no better than the other political parties hiding what they're doing to move their agenda forward. It becomes too easy to cheat. It becomes too easy to massage the numbers or the facts. That's the problem I have with that. Let's lay it all out there. If somebody cannot handle it, they're probably not going to be in the party, in the movement long anyways. So I always say that the Clear Skies movement we are fighters. That's what we do. We dig in. We make sure that we have our facts straight. We're not, screaming conspiracy. We are proving every step of the way. We have the receipts for the Ice Neutrino Project. We've got the Next Red radars. We see those all the time. We've got all of the chemicals that are being, stuffed into our skies. We've got water samples and soil samples and air samples. We were just talking about Roundup, right? I mean, I'll tell you this. That Roundup is sprayed. They hire planes to spray the Roundup. If they're spraying Roundup on crops, that Roundup is not just staying there. Some of it's being caught in the wind. I had heard that something like 2% of all of the, was it 2, maybe 2 or 5% of all of the pesticides that are used on commercial crops does their job to stop the pests. The other 98% gets washed down into the soil and then put in our drinking water. It's not only that, it's absorbed into the plant. We're literally being cut down at our nutrient level. So I appreciate what you're saying. I just think that what we need to do is prove everything. That will be a lot better. It is a huge web of conspiracy. And I'm not saying conspiracy theory. The government has conspired against the people of America, and they are depopulating us. 17 million plus already dead just from the COVID vaccine. That's not a theory. Those are the numbers. Our fertility rates. I mean, our fertility rates have just absolutely bottomed out. Autism. Everybody has autism. I don't know about you guys, but I had not even heard of autism until Sylvester Stallone's son was diagnosed as autistic because the kid could not function. That was the early 90s. And, right along with the big boost up in the vaccine scale. Let's see if we can find, let's see, how much pesticides ends up in the soil and water supply rather than on the crops. Okay, let's see what comes up here. Oh, well, look at this. So the quantity of pesticides reaching the soil and water rather than the crops is substantial. Globally, about 3 million tons of agricultural pesticides are used each year. Research suggests that about 7.2% of pesticides, approximately 68 tons, leach into aquifers, the underground waters of rocks or sediment, that hold underground or groundwater. Another 10% remain as residual in the soil. This indicates a significant portion of applied pesticides misses their intended target and contributes to the environmental contamination. They're not saying that it might be bad for the environment. They're saying it is environmental contamination. That is toxic. Those are toxic levels in our groundwater and our soil. Let's see. Baby, what are they saying over there in the chat?
The CLB says, I believe they down wheat by pesticides instead of cutting it down, but not sure.
We have heard for ages, ever since celiac disease started to pop its head up in the mid to late 90s. Yes, there were some very rare cases, but really, I mean, it didn't become a talking point until the late 90s and the early 2000s. And we have heard that you're not allergic to wheat. You're allergic to GMO wheat, genetically modified wheat, and you are also allergic to the pesticides, the Roundup. Roundup was sued because it causes cancer, carcinogenic, horrifically bad for you. So, here again, Steve Jarvis, regenerative farmer right here in Idaho, talking to RFK about putting 1 million farms in. We've lost 1.4 million farms in the last decade. And these are small farms. These are independent farmers that go out and homestead, farm, build, right? An acre, 10 acres, 40 acres, and a mule. Who knows? But they're small farms that actually feed communities. The big farms destroy communities. What are they saying? What else are they saying, babe?
Everything we are seeing leads to the 2030 agenda for the WEF. That was from It Is Finished.
Yeah, well, absolutely. That's no secret. I mean, that's been out there for so long that it's now, I think, general knowledge that there is a plan that has been put forth, and now they're working their plan. Well, not now. They've been working the plan to eradicate 7 billion people off the face of the planet because the elites want the planet to themselves. What do we do about that? Well, let's get some suggestions. I'd love to hear.
Vectum says I'm allergic to most meats now. I can see that.
Vectum, have you ever had Lyme's disease? Were you ever bitten by a tick? Well, not bitten, but did you ever have a tick? Because we've heard that coming out of the Bill Gates camp that he has helped to fund ticks that actually make you allergic to real meat, and that his very toxic and horrifically bad for the environment, his fake meat, you can eat that. And look, it's the same thing that he did with DOS, right? Everyone knows that early Microsoft, he had his programmers build viruses so they could then sell antiviruses, sell licensing to people to write antivirus software.
I don't think we've bought meat from a store in years. We just always go to their local farms.
Yeah, buy it from a ranch near you, or a good butcher. There's some really good butchers out there. Go get
it locally.
And I mean, look at what they do to meat, babe. I got to pull this up because read something out while I type, and then that way I won't have so much dead air.
Babushka, this is why there's a coordinated effort. Everybody takes note of the pesticides immunity. This is very important to fight against.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It certainly is.
Human Being says we fought Roundup in Riverside Park in New York City. I have a friend who got cancer from Roundup, and he won. I mean, it was a huge class action settlement, but he got some money. But the unfortunate thing, he's dying.
Yeah, exactly.
So all the money in the world's not going to make him better.
No, Roundup. How do we allow this?
Lucille B says the Amish sell great meat. And butter. We buy their butter.
Yeah.
And we buy their butter and their popcorn.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. I'm looking, whenever you want something, you just can't find it. But I'm looking for videos of, it's because I spelled it wrong. There we go. I think it read Jection. Injection systems. There we go. All right. Hold on. I'll pull this down as soon as the commercial is over. And the world runs on commercials, so we've got to put up with it. I don't mind. I mean, I love the free market system. We just have not been able to have a free market. This is what they do, right? They inject, and now they just say it's a saline solution to keep it moist. That's not what it is. This is toxic preservatives, so the meat lasts longer, and they can sell you water and salt. Very cheap.
I doubt it's just water and salt in that.
That's what I'm saying. That's what they claim, that it's just water and salt, but it's not. What they do is they're injecting all of the meat that you get in any grocery store. You are literally paying $13, $15, $18 a pound for water, half a water. You can buy a roast or a brisket at a grocery store. And once it's cooked, you have lost 40% of its weight or more. It's insane.
Yeah, you buy a nice big roast and after you cook it, it's the size of a golf ball.
Yeah. I mean, at that point, you're paying 30 to 50 bucks a pound because you're literally, for meat, you're literally buying water, and it's tap water. It's probably I'm sure it's got chlorine. So much of this smells like bleach anymore. We just, for years ago, we just quit buying it. When you can push your finger through a steak, and then it's none of it is real
It's all
anymore.
pressed together.
Yeah, you open it,
pieces.
it shreds, just like one of where they clip the snowflake out, right? And you open it up, and it's too fine. It just comes apart. That's what that reminds me of. It's
Human being says, I don't want to eat anymore.
right. I don't know, but Miss Dawn made a beautiful chicken dinner tonight, and I can't wait to get my teeth on that. So, but again, we buy the highest quality product, buy it from a local, a local ranch or a local farm, and we have this beautiful market here in the farmers market here in Boise. They just moved it. They moved it back to the promenade there. So that's nice.
Like they care.
Yeah, exactly. Well, if they ever come to Boise, they will. Let's see. Human being, I have lost all hope that we will see any arrests. I agree with you. I absolutely agree with you. And here, this is why I say, do we need another party? Any kind of change is going to hurt America. Any kind of change. So either we stay the same and all of us say, oh, we don't want to take the medicine, and we slowly watch America rot so bad that the pillars of our very society are destroyed completely, or we take the medicine that will fix the problem, and that is putting a new party together, having a party of the people, and then voting out and putting in prison and dispatching the traitors. How do we no longer put a firing squad together? I'm amazed, but I know the answer to that, because those are the people in power. They are all so terribly corrupt. Are we tired of it yet? I don't know. Maybe not. What else are they saying?
Jen Baker says, I feel this. I'm dealing with back issues, so I have to be careful causes of inflammation. Definitely the stuff in the sky. Inflammation is the root of all issues.
Absolutely.
You can't, if you don't get rid of the inflammation, which seems to be impossible nowadays, you can't get well.
Right.
Inflammation.
It certainly is. I am doing research right now on is there an obesity component to geoengineering, right? Because when you put toxic metals into a human body, the human body no longer works properly, and then your metabolism doesn't fire like it should. And so we are, obesity and inflammation are the two number one killers of not just humans, but of all life. So, do we have a lawsuit there? I mean, I guess that's my big question is, can we take a look at a lawsuit because we are now all being inflamed? You don't have to be dead. All you have to do is suffer your ability to stand or to walk or to get out of bed in the morning, your ability to sleep. And I mean, it disrupts sleep. You've got all that radiation and everything.
I mean, it's not just, I was telling you today, like, it'd be a good topic. I mean, everybody's suffering from these chemicals in the air and all that. Like, you and I suffer. I mean, I'm just always inflamed. I can't seem to get better. And even people that you think are super healthy, like fit, they all complain about, inflammation and trying to get better. So are we keeping you awake?
Yeah, sorry about that. No, wow, I don't know where that came from.
So, yeah, if we could figure out a way to get the inflammation down. I know it's a special diet and everything, but even you're just fighting it every day. As soon as you step outside and breathe, you're back to
Exactly. And the big excuse is that they're doing it to save us from the sun. The sun causes cancer. The sun makes you sick. The sun does this. The very sun that literally brought this planet to life. Now we're being told that it's the problem. Look at this, babe.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Human being says my food doesn't digest, but it could be just that I'm old.
I hear you.
Yeah.
The sun. Here you go. Dr. Stephanie Rimko, the sun that give life to all of us. See, she's copying me here because this is what I say, is not here to cause cancer. And we're going to just actually listen to her say it because, from the horse's mouth, that's really what we need.
The sun that is giving life to all of us on this earth, this plane of existence, is not here to cause cancer. It's like saying when somebody says estrogen causes cancer, really? Then every 15-year-old girl should have breast cancer. Estrogen does not cause cancer. That's another lie. Cancer is a metabolic disease. It's an error in cellular metabolism. You can increase cellular stress, oxidative stress, from the seed oils, the sugar, the alcohols, and everything else
there you go.
everybody's doing.
The people who bake in the sun. They just bake.
I bake in the
just
sun.
Crisp.
I'm crisp. What are they usually putting on their skin?
There you go.
Sunscreen.
And what are they usually eating and drinking when they do it?
Alcohol.
So if I put on carcinogens, which all of the sunscreens have in there, and then I go in the sun and I'm baking it in with infrared heat and causing it, while internally I'm probably drinking Coors Light and Bud Light, what's happening, or Margaritaville time, right? How many people are drinking when they're out there? How many are having chips and salsa, potato chips, pretzels, corn dogs, everything else full of seed oils that are rancid and oxidizing them? So you're causing cancer. Cancer is a metabolic disease.
There you go. From the doctor's mouth, cancer is a metabolic disease. And we have so much information about parasites. And parasites thrive in very acidic environments. I just saw that Ricky Spanish 61, pH is the most important aspect of health. Acidic equals sick, and alkaline equals healthy. And there you go. Sometimes the simplest answer is the answer. That Occam's razor right there. So are they purposely making life acidic, toxic, so they can do what? I mean, if our government knows that they're doing it, if big business knows that they're doing it, if the NIH knows they're doing it, if the CDC knows that they're doing it, if the WHO knows that they're doing it, if NOAA and NASA and DARPA and the U.S. military, if they all know that they are making our environment unlivable, then what do they really know? What are they really doing? I'll let you guys answer in the chat because my answer is that they're killing us. They're purposely killing us and making us sick, really. I mean, that's what drives the market. I mean, look at what has been happening. As soon as we saw attorneys being able to advertise on TV back in was that the 80s? I think that was. And now, I mean, all of a sudden, you had attorney ads everywhere. And then they were like, hey, let's do the same for pharmaceuticals. And now the pharmaceutical companies are extraordinarily wealthy. And now there's a treatment. They never solve anything. Nothing is ever cured anymore. It's a treatment to keep you and make you more sick. And you go on one pill or one injection or one treatment, and then that leads to a whole bunch of side effects that then they treat. And that your life goes from here to a downward slope. Bang, they cut 20 years out of you. First of all, they don't have to pay you your retirement. You don't have to go on Social Security. They've already eaten up and spent all that money. Our government either owns or heavily invests in every insurance company and every healthcare company. But where does that profit go? Why don't we ever get to see the profit? Why don't we ever get money back from our government? Why do we fund our own destruction? I don't like that. Let's see. Look into Verisalt. Yeah, you know what? I mean, we eat a Celtic salt. We eat, I use the diamond crystal their kosher salt, because salt turns out, as it turns out, is good for you. It doesn't increase your blood pressure. You know what does? All the stuff that they're stuffing into the sky. That'll do it. Pardon me. We've got the whole debate about cholesterol. I mean, cholesterol is...
You need cholesterol.
Your brain's made up of like 80% cholesterol. If you start starving it, you have dementia. That's why statins are so violently dangerous. You go on statins just like the actor Bruce Willis.
It finished says Celtic salt has lead.
Yeah, you know what? We're going to be told about how bad anything good is for us. Yes, I saw that post. Let's dig into that and find out. But here's the cold hard truth. Celtic salt does a ton of good for your body as well. Sea salts, Celtic salts, yeah. And we're going to have lead in just about anything because we're being toxified. They're dumping. Speaking of lead, babe, I'm telling you, the whole reason they took lead out of paint was not because some kid was going to chew on the wall. Yeah. It's because lead stops radio waves. You want to stop radio waves? Paint your house with lead paint. There we go. Put up a Faraday cage around you and your family. Protect them because we're being irradiated on a daily basis. They're literally cooking us. By they, I mean the U.S. government, the U.S. military, NAPA, DARPA, NASA, NOAA. Did I say Napa? Honk, honk. All right, what are they saying over there, babe?
Chris Guest says, I laugh. I laugh at the very long side effects list on the medications on TV. The side effects sound worse than the original illness. The medication is
oh my God, absolutely.
It's supposed to cure. And I don't think they ever say it's supposed to cure. It's just to help you.
Yeah.
There is no cure. Their job is not to cure any disease.
No, cure is not in their vocabulary. The last thing I think that was ever cured was polio. And it's because the guy's wife contacted polio, and he went in and he designed the guy that was working on the polio treatment, he designed a polio vaccine that stopped polio in 6 months. He did that in 6 months. So yeah, there we go. We've got polio, was the last disease that they ever cured. Making you sick, that's what makes money. Making the weather bad, that's where they make money.
Jen Baker says, my mom has onset dementia. I'm reversing it. Do not go on statins. Increase selenium and eggs and EPHAs.
There you go. Exactly. Put more, literally put more cholesterol into their body. It doesn't harm the heart. That is a myth. You want to know what does harm the heart? Acid. Like a high acidic body, sugars. There we go. I got that out. Alcohol, right? That's gonna harm your heart. That's what's gonna happen. We are also mineral deficient as a society, as humans anymore. Unless we're walking around in bare feet, then we don't. And eating, food cooked over a fire. That's how we used to get our minerals, and we don't do that anymore.
Everybody should be on magnesium.
Everybody.
Yeah. Eloise, we're kind of going back to seeding here.
Sure.
My state officials do nothing about seeding and excessive rain daily in an area where there is no rain needed. Researched grok, but no seeded plants. But I see them up there, and it rains daily for months. What is going on? What can I do about it?
Well, join our movement. Bring your research and a plan to us, and we will start working that plan. Oh, speaking of that,
well, you could start her at the county level.
Yeah, absolutely. Start at the county level. Let's stop cloud seeding. That's the low-hanging fruit. We can draw a line right directly from, hey, we seeded 2 days ago. Now we've flooded entire areas. And and look at this, babe. We've got flooding around the world. South Korea. Is that a bedpost? It looked like. But I understand that New Mexico is also flooding again. We've got, I'm going to type in here. I wonder if we can find more floods here and see what's DING, because we've got so much flooding going on anymore. It's just, I don't know. Let's see. Oh, we've got this 5-year-old rescued.
God bless these two children.
In a story that stunned the nation, 2 young children swept away by a flash flood have been found alive under circumstances that defy all logic. 5-year-old Sophia and her 7-year-old brother Leo were playing in their backyard when a sudden flood turned the streets into raging rivers. They vanished instantly.
Wow.
Rescue teams and volunteers searched tirelessly for over 24 hours. Hope was fading. But this morning, a police helicopter spotted the children on a tiny mud island, surrounded by powerful waters. No one can explain how they got there, let alone survived. Even more shocking, when rescuers reached them, the kids weren't crying. They were calmly playing with stones. When asked how they got there, Sophia said, "A pretty lady in a shiny dress pulled us out of the water and told us to wait." Now, eyes are turning to the developer who ignored flood warnings, insisting nature should adapt to progress. There's no scientific explanation, but many are calling it a miracle. Do you believe an angel saved them?
Well, it's entirely possible. Let's see. Oh, yep. How many once in 1,000-year floods does America have to suffer in a week to realize something might not be right? This is happening daily now. This is happening daily now when the West is on fire. The heat wave, we're having a heat wave in California, and it's warm here, but we're done with our heat wave here, and now they're covering the sky again because they've got something else ready to go. We've got so many weather events that are happening, and then they say that we've got another huge storm coming. It's I don't know. What are they saying? I saw that Victim had wrote something.
We're getting the crap flooded out of us.
Yeah, completely.
Ricky Spanish 61. There's actually no such thing as parasitic viruses. They're all created by the cells. That's something that I guess he's replying to someone. Sorry.
That does not surprise me. Let's see. Let's take a look and see. Eloise says my state officials do nothing about seeding and excessively.
That's what I just read,
yeah, you already read that. That's why I was wondering why am I on that. The victim says someone asked Grok which accounts he bases opinions on the most. Fauci was the number one on the list. It's useless. And here this guy that owns XAI wants to start another party, and he's basing his Grok, his AI, on the people that do this to us. I gotta see if there's any.
Human being says they cannot predict the weather anymore because they don't know what will be happening in our skies.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, if they're not in the loop, they can't help predict it.
All right, let's hold on. Let's
not that they ever did a good job anyway.
take a look.
Reissue that, or are we going to have a destructive merger? What's going to happen here with this storm? I'm on the edge of my seat.
We got a tornado warning somewhere. Once he pulls out, I'll be able to see Johnstown, Valentine, Woodlake. Oh, well, that's Montana. Rosebud, Montana.
What about the new baby? We've got our third child coming in about 5 weeks.
Very nice of him.
That's going to be crazy.
But I mean, look at this, and we've been having tornadoes all the way up into.
But that is going to be
all the way up into the Dakotas, and then yesterday Wisconsin had 4 tornadoes that came down. I think they have tornadoes this time of year, but it seems like we've really expanded the area of what we're seeing, the damage. This is Billings here, so we got.
Your screen still got the hook, and then the inflow velocity still looks fairly broad. I'm not sure if they're going to issue a new tornado warning, but at the minimum, they'll probably at least issue a new severe thunderstorm warning here soon. The severe thunderstorm warning for Valentine does go for another 17 minutes, so they'll probably just at least continue this warning. But we are currently about 1.5 minutes away from the tornado warning expiring.
So that's Forsyth, North Carolina, right there. So we just have time and time again, we have floods, tornadoes. Does anybody remember when summer used to kind of be a calm time? Well, yes, we had tornadoes. Yes, we had some inclement weather, but we didn't have a fire season that literally they just evacuated Canida Resort in Oregon here, up by Mount Hood, because the fires are cutting people off, so they can't get back to wherever they're from. And the issue that we're having now is that these fires, you spray the sky with toxic fly ash, it comes down, it kills the bacteria, nothing rots on the forest floor anymore, so now it just dries out and you have tinder. You kill the roots of the trees, so then you have standing tinder, and then you hit it with a lightning bolt or a directed energy weapon, or have somebody. Every year we hear about people throwing flares, driving in these black vehicles, throwing flares into very dry areas, and nobody seems to ever catch them. Has anybody ever got? It's just.
No.
And people are going crazy. It's just.
The next time you put up a video, it says put a mic near the video, but I know you can't do that. But maybe turn the volume up so they can hear the actual video.
All right, I'm gonna do that here. We'll pull.
Going some storm merger activity here, which is kind of hurting its tornado potential, at least in the short term. Still looks interesting. Again, I still think there's a chance for a tornado with this storm. And we now have a new destructive severe thunderstorm warning for this storm, which is now for 80-mile-per-hour damaging winds. So this is a particularly dangerous situation here north of Wood Lake. You need to be staying away from windows, get on the lowest floor possible. If you are anywhere inside of this severe thunderstorm warning, just outside of Wood Lake, Nebraska for Brown and Cherry counties. Once again, 80-mile-per-hour damaging winds are going to be possible with this storm as it continues to push down to the southeast.
And I watch this guy a lot, Max Velocity.
From Ben Williams, really insane structure shot.
And he reports from all over the country. But just look at that. That is absolutely terrifying. If you've ever been in tornado country, and if you've ever, I've had an F1 hit a cab that I was sitting in. I've seen some other damage done by worse tornadoes, Plano, Texas, in particular. The power is absolutely horrific. Baby, what are they saying over there? Dawn, rather, what are they saying over there in the chat?
I was just trying to go back to find out the book. Oh, so Jen Baker is reading the book I'm reading, What Really Makes You Ill, says it was DDT, but it wasn't a virus.
Yeah.
And then someone wrote, that's correct. Arsenic and DDT were both used at cattle dip sites, resulting in soil contamination with both substances. Ricky Spanish said that.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's move on because you guys have got to see this.
Amy Peterson.
Washington
This is just
State.
incredible. Listen here.
Kids over 13 have the complete right to make their own decisions about their mental health care. Parents don't have a right to have notice. They don't have a right to have consent about that.
Is that really what they think?
Young women have, if they're old enough to get pregnant, they're old enough to make their own decisions
13
about what happens with their bodies.
That's crazy.
Okay? And parents do not have the right to change that or make a different decision or be notified in advance.
How in the hell did this worthless piece of crap get into office? 13, and in the left, the liberals in general, and I know that we've got a lot of Democrats and liberals as part of the Clear Skies movement, and I love that. I don't think that anybody actually votes for this type of thing, and nobody really votes and is successful with it in the state of Washington, because Washington puts out mail-in ballots. Babe, do you remember when we were living over in Port Townsend, and you and I, we each got 12 or 13 ballots each. They just, it reminded me of Harry Potter. The thing just kept every time we checked the mail. 1, 2, 3 ballots. How is that possible? How is that happening? Washington State. They put people like this in office with illegal elections, and then you lose the right to your children.
If you can get pregnant,
right?
You can. Well, I was 12 when mine started, so I guess I could have made the decision then.
Yeah, exactly. Your mental health. If you wanted to get pregnant and turn into a man, you could have, and they don't have to. They can wish you off to a doctor.
I was still playing with Barbies.
Yeah, exactly. 12, 13, 14-year-old. Good Christ. I mean, we know 27-year-olds that are not adults anymore. I mean, we're just not raising kids into adults. Let's see. Jen Baker says, stay away from oils, all of them. Yes, absolutely. Unless, oils, yeah. Olive oil.
Olive oil is very good for you.
Has a
extra virgin olive oil. You should take it.
Well, just regular olive oil. Yeah. Don't cook with extra virgin, right? No. That's supposed to be used raw because you destroy it and it doesn't hold up to heat well. But regular olive oil, you can use that on all sorts of things. You can also beef tallow. There we go. That's what I'm trying to say. Beef tallow, bacon fat, that sort of thing. There we go. That it's made for us to consume and cook stuff in. I don't know who designed it, but they did it real well. Raw walnuts. It's finished. Says is great for the brain.
You're going way back.
Well, I'm kind of stuck back there, and I want to make sure I'm getting people's stuff here. I'll take him off the screen.
Says, I swear I won't say anything negative or insulting to you, but a show of hands. Are there any people here tonight who identify as liberal?
Yeah.
I don't know. Well,
but, Vectum, here, the thing is I hope there are. One of the things, when Christy and Babushka and LaShawn and Tex Americana, or Tex Mexicana, when we all talk, one of the things that we all talk about is bringing people together, right? I simply don't care, what you think your party is, or what you think your sex is, or who you love. I think that's wonderful, and those are very personal decisions. What I don't like is the agenda. I don't like people that want to be able to live life in the way that they want. I don't like them being used as pawns and then weaponized against another people. And it's whenever, right? We used to have gay people. There was gay and straight. And then there was gay, lesbian, and straight. And then there was gay, lesbian, and bi, and straight. And then gay, lesbian, bi, transgendered, and straight. And now we have 30 letters, 60 some different designations. And the reason that you designate, the reason that the government especially puts money behind this, and you have special interests like the medical community that are very interested in it, is because it separates people. It suddenly, your brother, your sister, your mother, your father, your neighbor, your uncle, your favorite friend from high school, all of a sudden they are your enemy because now they don't fit in that really niched down designation of who you are told you are. Let's get rid of that. Let's just get rid of that. You and me, we're human beings. Are you on the left on some things? Great, because we need that type of thinking. Are you on the right on some things? Great, because we need that type of thinking too. Can we talk and find out the best path forward for you, for me, for humankind? That is what politics is supposed to be like. Now politics is completely weaponized, and it's one of the reasons that I keep asking the question. Do we get rid of the two-party, the one-party system? Do we get rid of the Democrats and the Republicans and find a party that represents the people? And then the platform for that is right off the bat, term limits, bang, part-time job, bang, no big omnibus bills, bang. We start taking care of how we live our lives. Do we go back to the gold standard, or do we use cryptocurrency? If we use cryptocurrency, there is a good chance that the banking industry is gone forever. That's a good thing. The banks have caused more financial problems than the stock market ever has. Keep the markets. Let's let people make money. No, just slash taxes. I mean, slash taxes down to the bone. You and I should be paying 2%. Everybody pays 2%. That is taxation with representation. All of this stuff, babe, that we have discovered from Doge, it makes me sick, absolutely sick. And baby, how many wars? Right, we were promised that we wouldn't be any more wars. So we're all out of wars now, right? No, we're not. You're right. Dawn's shaking her head. No, we are not out of the wars. As a matter of fact, the wars seem to be heating up. We've got Israel literally has been unleashed on the Middle East. We've got the Ukraine war. We've got Russia, right? And now they're just push. Pretty soon, I think that we're going to see China and Japan get into it again, or maybe China and Taiwan. Who knows?
Jen says we have another country running us. Gotta get rid of them.
It's a problem. It's a big problem. And I don't think it's necessarily, just the Israelis that are running, America. I think that it is the Vatican, the Israelis, the royal family. I think that those are the big power brokers. Of course, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, all that, big old money, the Morgans and the Harrimans and the Bushes, right? They're making decisions about our future that we simply do not want. We never wanted it.
LaShawn says Sergey for Prez. Keep those thoughts to yourself, LaShawn. We shouldn't fund any of it, Vectum says.
No, we should not. We should not be forced. We should not have money drained out of our pockets every day. Well, I mean, when I was young, one working parent could work 40 hours a week, come home, have a life with his family and children, or build a life and find a husband or a wife, depending on who it was. You could do that on one. You could buy a home for $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000. Today, the average home price, up here is what, $750,000 for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath starter home. Let that sink in. $750,000. And here's what happened: is that we threw open the doors to the banks foreclosing across the board in 2007, 2008, right? But it was the end of 2007 when the housing market, and we have another bubble just like that. Threw open the doors. We consolidated the banks. We let all of the big money go. And as a matter of fact, we put trillions of dollars into the banking system. Too big to fail. You can't have the banks failing. Oh my goodness. What would that do? Well, I'll tell you what, it would level the playing field. That is what the government absolutely. And what I mean by the government, I don't mean our representative government. What I mean by the government is that we have been hijacked, completely moved into a mafia style government that acts aggressively against the people in America. And it just, taxes are the number one way to put your thumb on somebody and just keep them down. They'll put their two thumbs on it. And that's what they do. I mean, it's not fair. It's not right. And if we allow the two-party system to survive, we're casting our vote for that to keep happening. They drill $1 trillion a year out of the taxpayer fund just for fly ash, to put fly ash, aluminum oxide, barium, strontium, graphene oxide they add to it, but cadmium, right? All these heavy metals that they spray every single day of our lives, every day of our lives. There's not a man, woman, child, there's not a plant, there's not a bacteria, there's not an animal, there's not a fish that isn't suffering from this. And you and I are paying for it. We never got a vote. We never got to say anything about it. And it really just, baby, it just drives me nuts that happens. So yeah, 2% tax. I'm willing to do that. But we pay extra gas tax for the roads, and the roads are never fixed. They never build more highways. We need more highways built up here in the Northwest. The state of Washington, I grew up in Washington, Oregon, but primarily in Western Washington. Absolutely loved growing up here. One of the most beautiful places on the planet. And it is destroyed by literally the stupidest, most moronic, horrific, hijacked government. And I'm including California. That's saying a lot. I think Washington State has the worst, hands down, the worst government running it out of all 50 states. And I'll even throw in, I'll raise you, Puerto Rico. Let's see.
Who was it? Human Being says we're fighting psychopaths with money.
Completely. We're funding them. We're funding the psychopaths because they're not using their money. That's the big secret. They use our money and they make more money for them by using our money and doing it.
Victim says, what happened to the gold at Fort Knox?
Why have we still not gone in there? I mean, the reason that you take so much time to not do something is because you allow that either the story to evaporate and go nowhere, or you know that people are returning it and then nobody gets in trouble. And why? Why do we protect the criminals? If you and I did that, if we said, you know what? No, we're not going to let the government see our bank account. Do you think that would go over for 1 second? Do you not think that you would literally be raided in the middle of the night by the FBI, guns ablazing, lights blaring, sirens blaring, kicking in your door, all because they want to see what you're doing with your bank account? If we had the ability to stop that, then and did, you would be hauled off to gulag. You would never, ever see the light of day. Pay your taxes. Otherwise, we're going to come get you. And they do. They steal entire families' wealth, generational wealth. And it goes to people like Adam Schiff. It goes to people like Nancy Pelosi. It goes to people like I was going to say Donald Trump, but he's made his own name. But Barack, Barry and Michael Obama, right? Two big swinging right there.
LaShawn says, because they went and it was empty, LOL.
Yeah, and they don't want to tell us because they campaigned on transparency. And when it came time to be transparency, they're like, oops, we can't be transparent because we want to protect all of our buddies. Oh, so-and-so is on that. Look at that list. Can't tell them about that. And that's why they're saying, oh, there's nothing to see here with Jeffrey Epstein.
LaShawn says, "Go ahead, say it. My hair's on fire."
My hair's on fire. It certainly is, and it's driving me. It literally, I mean, it's just absolutely driving me nuts. Human being, you never change things by fighting the existing reality. To change something, build a new model that makes the existing model obsolete. Buckminster Fuller. That is exactly right. We need to build a new model. Is the Clear Skies movement? Do we have a model here? Do we have a bunch of thinkers out there that can start putting a platform together? Maybe we do. Can I think of something? Yeah. Have I written some stuff down? Maybe I've made some notes. I don't know. But what I do know is that it's not right that we are paying for our own destruction. When we have, I was trying to find this earlier. Let me see if I can find it. Just the insane amount of money that is being used to build these underground bunkers. And it's your and my money, by the way. We are funding the underground 10-year bunkers for the elites to go underground and live a life of Riley while they scrub the earth. And then they'll come up and the next generation of all their moronic kids get to take over and run the planet.
Beckham says, "I'm here because I believe that." And that's what he's talking when you were saying, are we maybe a new model?
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm old Milbato, new person I haven't seen. We need to merge with that other Sky Movement platform to make our voices louder. Well, we do work with other.
Yeah, we have strategic partnerships all over the place. What other Sky Movement are you talking about? And if we're not talking to them, we will. Baby, read some more and let me find this.
Human Being said, "I just sent my $320 property tax payment on my car for the third time since I moved to South Carolina."
Right.
Just crazy.
And you got Lee Gilreath down there, and he talks a big deal, but he's not doing anything. Lee, get off your ass and go be a politician for the people. I mean, South Carolina will literally follow you and support you. But you don't. And that's the problem that I have with so many politicians. They try to say the right thing so they can get in or stay in office. And then they do nothing. I mean, he put together a bill that was sent to the Judicial Committee. And that is where bills go to die. And it did die. And so what he did is detooth his bill. Rather than saying, hey, I need support. Let's put even a more. I mean, if it was me, if I was Lee, if they did that to me, babe, I would say, you know what? You didn't like that bill? You're definitely not going to like the next one. And I would put up a fire-breathing dragon of a bill. There is no backing off. And I would find out who is stopping it and make them the enemy of that bill. Let's out them. Let's take a look. Let's dig through their money. Who's backing them? And you'll see the real reason why all of these people vote to keep harming and keep enslaving Americans, because they are owned, right? You've got 500 and some, congressmen and all that, and nationally, but around the rest of the country, you've got thousands of people. That's nothing compared to 332 million people that live in America. So a very small group of people control those that control us.
And Odd Milvato said it's the Clear Skies Initiative. Don't you already talk to them?
What is it? The Clear Skies Initiative?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. We're always working and sharing, but I can honestly say I'd like somebody from them to reach out. I've sent them messages before. I've posted in their communities. I've emailed their admins, and I just have not heard back on working together. And I would love to work together. And I'm sure that, that they would love to work together also, because we're all fighting the exact same monster. Keep going, baby. I'm going to look for something.
Jen Baker says most politicians are owned by you-know-who.
Yeah, right.
George
Soros. That's who she's talking about.
Yeah.
So, but it's all. I mean, George Soros is is kind of the talking head figure, right? He and his son is, I don't know, but the money behind the Soroses, those are the people that you need to worry about or deal with. Keep going, babe.
There's not much, sweetheart.
Oh, well. I mean, Jen Maker says, not sure. I'm in North Carolina. Would love to help. Absolutely. We've got that. Pat, if your state does not have a moderator, please contact me. Pat, that is a very good thing to say. You know, I got a little carried away for a minute there, but we do have chapters, TCSM, the Clear Skies Movement chapters in every single state. And we need good moderators to help build those chapters. Now we're dealing with, with Pennsylvania is growing. We've got Michigan needs a lot of help. South Carolina, right? We need to make sure that we're getting South Carolina, North Carolina, and getting all of the politicians. We have to put pressure on them. And the way we do that is by building our movement and speaking with one voice. Mm-hmm. What else are they saying over there?
Human being said, I moved inland to avoid the hurricanes. What a joke.
Right? Now, all of a sudden, you're hit with constant floods and tornadoes. It's just out of nowhere. It used to be that a storm system would come up out of the Gulf and it would meet the cold air coming down from the north, and then you would have a system. But now it seems that we've got real strange storm systems coming out of nowhere.
Rohit Mishra, I'm sorry if I butchered your name. Demons from the depth of hell, the whole Soros family.
Yeah, completely. Totally. You will not get an argument from me about that.
Jen Baker said, I'd love to be a mod.
There we go, Jen. All right, perfect. Jen, what state are you in?
I think she said North Carolina. I'm close to Greensboro, North Carolina.
So look at this. We've got
the end of the world. Others are busy preparing for it. Doomsday prepping is all about making plans for life's what-ifs. But what if I told you that preparing for the apocalypse didn't have to mean hoarding toilet paper and all the canned goods you can get your hands on? Instead of stocking your shelves, this luxury doomsday bunker,
isn't that nice?
Old missile silo comes with its shelves fully stocked. And that's not even the best part.
With the doomsday clock 100 seconds to midnight, this is Mansion Global.
So anyway, so wow. It's only a multi-million-dollar investment, and you two can have a doomsday. Now that is a near surface one. I mean the elites and our government has spent an inordinate amount of money building underground bunkers that are hundreds of feet below the Earth's surface. And some of them are in these very deep caves that then they shore up and make them really, really nice. So somebody can have 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 square feet as a home down there. And we'll put we'll put a few thousand elites here and a few thousand elites there and a few thousand elites under here. And everybody will be able to talk. Breaker, 1-4, you got your ears on. Come on back, bunker, a multi-trillion-dollar bunker. And they essentially are selling timeshare, a 10-year timeshare. That's what it is. You got a timeshare, you get to come down, and it's because part of your investment is the free plane ride and helicopter ride and a very, very nice bus taking you into the shelter, and then they can trigger all of this massive mayhem. Next thing you know, you got a big problem. What do we got over there, babe?
Well, just confirming Jen Baker is in North Carolina. Do you have a moderator? She can be a moderator there.
Yes. So Jen Baker, go ahead and reach out to Babushka or LaShawn or Christy, and they will get you squared up. Talk to Pat or text Mexicana, Mex-American. I always get that wrong. I gotta look that name up better.
Human beings say, who wants to live if everyone dies? Only psychopaths will be left.
Right? Exactly.
Achieve our ultimate goal of becoming the all-seeing, all-knowing space baby at the center of the universe. Well, I got some bad news. Gonna have to go through a couple, 2, 3 apocalypses.
Yep.
And to do that, at least before we gain the ability to switch into non-corporeal form at will,
Mhm.
we're gonna need some doomsday bunkers.
Ooh.
Now, I've never been much of a prepper. I don't even look at menus online, okay? I don't even check if the toilet paper's there before.
He's got a
I
laugh
eat,
track.
okay? I don't even know what I'm gonna say at the end of this sentence, toaster strudel, okay? Therefore, in this video, we're gonna do some motherfucking research so that I know how to break into, so that we can build our own doomsday bunker.
There you go.
I'm not talking about your grandma's doomsday bunker. I'm talking about rich people bunkers.
Ooh.
Unless your grandmother is a rich person with a doomsday bunker. In which case, hey, wanna be friends? How's your grandma? How's Grams? Gam Gam? Can I call her Gam Gam? I gotta have a rich people bunker because I gotta have a
This
big,
guy, I gotta
a
subscribe.
big, beautiful bunker. A big bypass boom boom bombardment bing bong bunker. Because in order to be a space baby eventually, we're gonna need room for nutrition, fitness, a library to avoid a case of the dum-dums,
Yep.
and a big room full of beard trimmers. This is going to be the best looking noggin in the whole Armageddon. You know what I'm saying? So I've compiled a list of articles and video of some doomsday bunkers that we're going to dig into, and I'm going to rate them on a scale of 1 to 10 Oppenheimers. First up, the Instagram daddy himself, Mark Zuckerberg.
Ooh.
Mark, give me the Zuck. Now, we all know Mr. Zuck owns a 14-acre compound in Kauai called Kulu Ranch. Kulau Ranch, we all know that, featuring 2 mansions, a gym, a spa, tennis court, enormous water tank, cattle, horses, and an organic ginger farm, in total costing $270 million, which is literally pocket change for him. Well, not literally. I don't think you could actually.
Just so you know, Zuckerberg allowed the wholesale propaganda machine, the FBI, the CIA, the NSA, and the Department of Justice to have offices on site so they could silence you and me. And it's one of the reasons that I hardly do anything on Facebook. It's because that company should not even exist anymore. It's a public forum and they treated it like the Gestapo. It's just
fit it in his pocket. Well, digitally, yeah. I guess he could. I don't know why he'd want to carry around that much because it's pocket change. It doesn't matter. Anyway, and the land, of course, was acquired without controversy. And yeah, that's all well and good, but what about the underground bunker? The 2 mansions are connected via tunnel to a 5,000 square foot shelter. Is this the perfect doomsday bunker we're looking for? And is he planning for the apocalypse?
Or is there something you know that we don't?
No, I think that's just like a little shelter.
A little shelter. What are you worried about?
I don't know, whatever you want to call it, hurricane shelter or whatever. I think it got like blown out of proportion as if the whole ranch was some kind of doomsday bunker, which is just not true.
Okay, fair enough.
Does anybody not believe him? Because I don't believe him at all. There's a reason that Lahaina burnt down and that everybody lost their property. It's because they want to be out on some island so they can turn the rest of us into zombies.
I can't find any pictures of the inside of it. Probably something and then didn't put the thing that they titled it into the thing. That never happens. And considering it's just a basement that's the size of a basketball court and has the ability to generate its own power and grow its own food, and if it's connected to a massive water tank that's in some other part of the compound, I give it 7 Oppenheimers. And I'm not going to go any higher because it's way out there in Hawaii, which would make it very hard to break into. Plus, when the apocalypse clears up, he's going to want to go out and do some hydrofoiling, and I don't want to do hydrofoiling. That just seems exhausting. Moving on, initially I wanted to rate all of the specific billionaire bunkers. You know, your Musks, your Bezoses. But the thing about bunkers is they're going to keep them secret. And in fact, that presents a problem for the billionaires themselves, because if the end times come around, they're going to need security, at least at the beginning of the end.
So, and this is what happens. You've got private armies made up of all the departments now. When I was young, the IRS and the Bureau of Land Management and the basket weaving department, they weren't weaponized. Now all of them have tactical teams. They're all militarized. And they're used against us by the people that have the most money. And then you have companies that staff an army for you. And a few guys well trained with good weaponry they can absolutely control a population of thousands or tens of thousands, because there's very few people that really want to fight that. And not a lot of people are willing to go to the sweet by and by. They would rather them and their family suffer. There was a time when that wasn't the case, but it is the case now. Miss Dawn, what are they saying over there in the chat?
Rohit Mishra, sorry again. FYI, all the rich billionaires and the CEOs are buying bunkers in New Zealand as well.
Oh my God. So I heard about that exodus to New Zealand. Let me just... Billionaires fleeing to New Zealand. All right, let's take a look and see what comes up on that.
L. Birdman says, I trust him as far as I can throw him. That's Zuckerberg.
Exactly. Yes, there's a perception fueled by some media reports and public statements that New Zealand has become a popular destination for some wealthy individuals seeking a doomsday refuge or a place to escape potential societal collapse. This perception is largely linked to the country's political stability, beautiful scenery, and a golden visa program that allows wealthy individuals to gain residency by investing in the country. Do you see what's happening here? I'm gonna lay it out. I'm absolutely gonna lay it out. Here is what's happening. Donald Trump has the golden ticket visa. You put X amount of millions down, you get a free pass. We don't check anything about you. You can come in. New Zealand has the golden visa program themselves, right? You put the money up, and it's not an investment into the company. Where do you guys think all of those millions of dollars for those visas are going? Yes, they're going to the politicians, into the pockets of these people. Maybe a thimble full of that money is drip, drip, drip into society. And then they could say, see, look at what we did. We put $200 into this toilet that's now, at this park that everybody loves. But it doesn't do anybody any good. We've now entered a time where money is absolutely everything, and lots of money, right? We've gone, when I was young, a millionaire, that was a lot of money. By the 90s, we started, or the early 2000s really is when billionaire, we started getting billionaires. Bill Gates, of course, in the 90s, late 90s and early 2000s, started getting his billions. And Amazon had caught hold and started, but it really was the internet revolution that has made people just so ridiculously wealthy. And they trade on you and me selling us bad products that make us sick and letting the government come in and hold office in their companies so they can also keep you and me from complaining about it too much, shut us down, stick a jab in our arm, kill us, and kill all of our ability to make more babies, so they get the planet to themselves. If you can afford it, you can get one of these multi-billion-dollar places underground and a free ride, of course, to the helicopter pad near that beautiful, gorgeous piece of 5,000 square feet. Don't you just love just how it drips off him? Oh, it's only 5,000 square feet. What do you think? This whole beautiful, incredible place that he stole the company from the twins that helped him start it. And I'm not saying that he hasn't built a big company out of it. Yeah, absolutely. Did he do it by himself? No, he didn't. What are they saying over there in the chat?
Mishra also said, they think they can nicely hide in New Zealand in case of a nuclear fallout.
Right, exactly.
Right. Vectum says all our taxes almost all get laundered.
Completely. Yeah. I mean, if you think that our tax money is going to benefit us, you're not paying attention. Our tax money is stolen. 99 cents out of every dollar goes someplace else. It simply does not pay for what we are told it's supposed to. Just look at the lottery money. Dude, that was supposed to, we were told it's going to help the schools. Well, what they were doing is playing semantics. And quite frankly, I think that everybody that was ever involved in that should be run out of town, should be strung up, tarred and feathered. And tarred and feathered was a son of a bitch way to go. It just, hot tar, burn it into your skin. So what they did is they heated tar to boiling, and then they poured that over you, so you were severely burned, and the tar literally burnt in as part of your skin. And then they feathered you just to add a little extra embarrassment. Well, I like that. And that and the drawn and quartered, of course. But tarred and feathered. If it didn't kill you, you were left with those scars. And it took years to get that tar out of some, and sometimes it never came out of the skin. It was a horrific punishment, but it did work.
Ricky Spanish says, great show, Sergey. Really glad we got a chance to meet. I'm sorry, but I have to take off. Keep up the fight, brother.
Ricky, you have a fantastic night. Thank you very much for all that great information. And we're probably going to wind down in just a little bit. Also, this is my first time doing, a live on a Sunday. So we'll,
just no format, just talking.
That's what we want to do because I think it's very important that we do.
Human Beings asked, Sergey, what do you think about the Genius Act foreshadowing CBDC? Question.
I think that once you take the power away from the banks, it's good. That act was giving power to the financial community, and it was also limiting transparency, and that's the thing I didn't like about it. I'm very happy that it got voted down as such, and they're going to bring it back again. So am I answering your question properly there?
We'll see, because there's a delay.
Oh, that exactly. I wish there wasn't a delay. I wish it was just like that. Isn't that what we pay all this money for the internet for? For us to be able to communicate around the world with people instantly. Right. Oh, that's right. Because only a small fraction of that money actually goes to the infrastructure. Everything else goes to those multi-billion-dollar bunkers, and of course the free ride there in a luxury helicopter of your choice. Keep going, babe.
Jen Baker, the North Carolina Education Lottery had 2 people following the Twitter X page. It's total bullshit.
Yeah, completely. Grok. What do you guys think about Grok? I mean, does it seem like all of this technology now, all of this information is being manhandled and controlled? I think that what we're gonna see, not to get off on an AI rant, but I truly believe that if there was anyone that really cared about humans, that we would work on a way that we could hybrid, if people wanted, AI and human beings without the AI being programmed to maliciously control that human. Unfortunately, that's what I think is going to happen. And so, are we in that predictive programming of Terminator, of the Matrix? Right? I mean, it does beg a question, but I can't even believe that we're here. The technological advancements that we have had over, just since I've been born, have been quite remarkable. The first airliner that I ever took was a prop-driven plane out of Alaska. From Alaska, I was 4 years old. We were chasing my dad down to central Mexico, just outside of Mexico City, and our flight went from Alaska down to Mexico, and then, from Alaska down to Seattle, and then we switched flights and took a flight from Seattle to San Francisco, and then we got on, or Los Angeles. Was it Los Angeles or San Francisco?
And your point is, sir?
Well, my point is that the technological advancements have been massive. Yeah. We now have the internet. We have a phone. Captain, I'm on the planet, right? I mean, it's stuff of of Star Trek and Star Wars. I mean, I read not too long ago, about 7 or 8 months ago, about a guy who is actually using plasma to build a lightsaber.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait, what? First of all, I want one. And second of all, maybe get good insurance because I'm probably going to cut my leg off. But other than that, swinging that thing around, I mean, how far have we come with technology? And the thing that I hate about this, it could be so good for humankind. We literally could be living on the moon and on Mars by now if we had marshaled all the money that we have spent on wars, on butchering life. If we put that into advancements for society as a whole, well, first of all, we would not have had fluoride in the drinking water, making us all stupid. But also, we wouldn't have had the jab that is literally dragging a wrecking ball through fertility around the planet. We would have had space stations by now. We would be living on Mars and living on the moon and probably heading out to, parts unknown with phenomenal restaurants and having cuisines sent back to us that we otherwise wouldn't have.
How about just doing the things they said they do, and we'd all be living, like affordable housing. We'd all live the American dream. Remember that word?
I certainly do. And quite frankly, I wish that was the truth. And here again, it all boils down to America was designed one way, it was hijacked, and now we have a life that is completely foreign to what our forefathers, in their very, very, brilliant manner, put together the Constitution. Well, we simply don't have that America anymore, and we need to get back to it. And I think that we need to dismantle the current system. There's going to be some pain doing that, and put a system in place where we, the people, take care of ourselves, because the government simply won't do it. The government should just have an army, and we should constantly be changing the leadership of that so they don't get so comfortable.
Bill Gates could feed everyone instead of...
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. If he wanted to. But, if you know anything about his parents, they were not good people. Bill Gates, his father was very, very rich. And they were liberals. They helped put people in Washington State into power. People like Christine Gregoire and oh my God,
So you're saying he was raised brainwashed?
Well, yeah. I mean, he likes the idea of just a few wealthy people and then robots. That's where we're heading right now. Is AI, machine learning, robotics, AI driven robots that do all the menial work. Build your new car. They'll keep some people with brains, but they won't. It won't be a vivacious life. I mean, let's say in 100 years we go down this path. All of a sudden, you've got just a few, lines of.
Whenever you watch the movies, the future don't look bright.
It does not look all that bright.
They're always dirty and everything's vilely just falling apart.
It simply does not look that bright. But at the same token, the fact that I can get online and talk to you, and Miss Dawn can also, the fact that you guys can speak to me and we can start thinking of other ways to do it, that's what gives me great hope. And I believe that there is somebody out there that will stand up as a leader and say, this is not right. And even if a new party started and it did not win, and I'm not talking the Libertarian Party, because the Libertarians, they're all about no government, and then they want to run for government. I don't know. I like some of the things they say, but I don't like everything. And I think that they put up just horrible candidates. They put up the non-candidate, and it also makes me wonder, who's piloting the boat over there? Is it just going around in a circle right now? Well, let's see. Eloise says, not liberal socially, more average, middle of the road, but I am for distributing wealth a bit more equally through higher wages and unions. Eloise, I understand what you're saying, I don't agree with you, but I value your opinion. What I do think that has to happen is that we need to slash the cost of living. We need to slash taxes. We need to take government down to a part-time job. Only a few people have full-time jobs, and we cycle through. We can raise and teach people how to go into government. It can be just like you study business or just like you study dance, right? You study to be a politician, and here's what's acceptable. And if you do graduate with your master's degree or whatever in that, then you get to go into, into working full-time for the government, but you make one mistake, bang, everything's gone. That's it. We're not putting up with that shit anymore. You don't get to steal, poison, destroy America at all. You don't get to kill a whole bunch of people and then parade around like you're somebody like Anthony Fauci has done. And like Bill Gates is doing, right? Why are we allowing this? We are the masses. There's 332 million of us, and there is a small handful of government. And I'll tell you, we stop paying taxes. We cut that money off. The government is going to rethink their position on a lot of things. And before we do any of that, we have got to go doge on the individual politician. Every legislator should have their background exposed and their finances exposed. And what are they doing with their offshore accounts? And how are they connected? There's 6 degrees of separation, right? How are they connected to the money that they are sending to these companies? Because they are, and we want to know that. But they don't do it. By they, I mean our government. I mean the FBI. I mean the CIA. I mean the NSA. I mean the Department of Justice. I mean every AG on the planet. Nobody is doing anything to protect the people. They do everything to protect those that are slitting our financial throats and making life more difficult. If we get back to a free market enterprise, if we slash the cost of living, if we dramatically cut taxes, Eloise, then we are going to be in that position that you're talking about. You and I share the outcome. How we get there, it differs. It doesn't mean I'm right. Doesn't mean I'm wrong. It means that I have a difference of opinion and I value yours. And thank you so much for bringing that to the table. What else do we have over there, Miss Dawn?
Okay.
Missouri Clear Skies. Sorry, baby. Missouri Clear Skies is here.
That one.
People don't know their
history.
Yeah, that's right. They don't know their history.
And that's how we got lost.
That is exactly how we lost control. And I mean, I'm not saying I'm famous for saying it, but I am saying it a lot that freedom is not free. You have to wake up every single day and say, I'm taking my freedom back, and then go out and actually do something rather than just complaining about it. We've got to go and move the dial ourselves. We can't expect, our government will never be honest with us. They will never willfully take care of us. They will not defend us. They will not protect everything that our family has built. They will steal our wealth. They'll steal everything unless we, the people, hold their feet to the fire and bring back tar and feathering. What else are they saying?
You like that tar and feathering.
I really do. The more I think about it, the more I like that idea.
Right. Eloise, yes, we must get rid of the admin soon or lose our freedom. And I think we've already lost it. And no more Democrats. Enough of that. Need a third party soon.
Yeah, exactly. The Democratic Party, right? This is not the party of John F. Kennedy anymore. This is the party of Ocasio-Cortez and crazy, drunk, completely off a rocker Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer. Thank you very much, baby. It's the party of the insane. Cory Booker and who's the other girl from Chicago that's just so far off the mark. Bernie Sanders and Pocahontas.
And they've been there for too long, like you said. It should be just a part-time gig.
And how are you affording multi-million-dollar homes in the best parts of the country and around the world. How do you afford that on $175,000 a year salary?
Yeah.
I mean, so somebody, please tell me, if you're not a criminal, then what are you? How do you afford that home? Who did you sell your soul to?
Human being says, I like gallows myself.
There we go. Now because the beautiful thing about the gallows was all the pomp and circumstance of making the gallows. Everybody knew shit's going to get real in just a little while as soon as they get that working. And once they got that trapdoor swinging, that's when you really knew, all right, tomorrow's the day. Everybody and towns used to turn out to watch people swing at the gallows because it was a way for them to know that the people that represented them were protecting them in real time. We don't have that anymore. Now we have monetized the legal system to make it beneficial to send people into work for free. It's slavery in a modern time, and now we have so many laws that people are breaking federal laws every day. Go ahead, babe. Read some more.
Montana Skies also says, speaking of CIA, FBI, the most upsetting part of the global change research governance, 14 agencies with funding ties to geoengineering, is the Smithsonian Institute. Like what in the CIA?
Exactly. Let's see. The CIA has to be raised to the ground. And I think the FBI also. I mean, I don't trust Kash Patel. I no longer trust Dan Bongino. I think that Pam Bondi has ruined any kind of credibility that she had going into, the Department of Justice. Look at this book. If you guys have not read 3 Felonies a Day, this book outlines how everybody breaks the law every day. So this came out in 2011. The average professional in this country wakes up in the morning, goes to work, comes home, eats dinner, and then goes to sleep, unaware that he or she has likely committed several federal crimes that day. Why? The answer lies in the very nature of modern federal crimes, or federal criminal laws, which have exploded in numbers, but also become impossibly broad and vague. In 3 Felonies a Day, Harvey S. Silverglate reveals how federal criminal laws have become dangerously disconnected from the English common law tradition and how prosecutors can pin arguable federal crimes on any one of us, or even the most seemingly innocuous behavior. The volume of federal crimes in recent decades has increased well beyond the statute books and into the morass of Code of Federal Regulations, handing federal prosecutors an additional trove of vague and exceedingly complex and technical prohibitions to stick on their hapless targets. The dangers spelled out in 3 Felonies a Day do not apply solely to white-collar criminals. State and local politicians and professionals. No social class or profession is safe from this troubling form of social control by the executive branch, and nothing less than the integrity of our constitutional democracy hangs in the balance. I remember the first time I read that book, I was absolutely shocked. If you have a chance, get that book, read it, because it will open your eyes. This was 2011. How many thousands of laws are passed every year since then, right?
Yeah, right.
Are we all criminals? Absolutely. We certainly are.
Aren't cell phones illegal?
You're not allowed to transmit without an FAA license, right? An FFA license. So, yes, we are breaking the law every time we turn on that phone. And our government will use that when they want your property, when they want your kids, right? When they want to transition your kids. So that kid, as soon as that kid goes through the transition, They are destroyed for life, absolutely destroyed for life. That makes the healthcare industry very happy. They want your child to be on psychotropic drugs because all of the hormones are feeding into a system that's not designed to take, to handle it, is making them crazy. And so what you do is you now flatline them and you put them in a job that all they have to do is click, click all day long, click, 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 click. They're just, you ruin them. And people who have had their genitals literally carved out of them don't make babies. Another way that they can depopulate. What else do we have there, babe?
The wealthy global families are causing all of the problems.
All of them. Absolutely all of them. Where's the revolt? Where are the pitchforks and the torches? Because I want to know that. I want to know. And by pitchfork, I don't mean physically. I mean, at what point do we direct our government to stop dealing with these people and then hold them accountable? Why is the law not levied equally? Why is there no equal justice? Equal enforcement, equal justice? It's not. And it's because, right, 3 felonies today. Here, I'll just pop that back on the screen. It's because our government always has a choice as to who they want to prosecute. So all they have to do is say, Hillary Clinton, you committed all these felonies while you were in office. You lost $6 billion. And all of a sudden that money shows up in the form of the ISIS and the Taliban, right? Of course, the State Department started all that. So, yeah, there you go. All of a sudden, they get to leverage these very broad written federal crimes against you and I, and they don't have to go, get their buddies who are sleeping with, 13-year-old girls. And then the states say, oh, well, we don't have to tell you about it because they're old enough to get pregnant and they're old enough to make up their own decision. When I was 13, I'll tell you, I was just about as dumb as they come. My decision-making capability was not what it should have been. I took too many risks, and I paid for it. But I learned, and that was the thing. But had somebody said, oh, yeah, Sergey, at 13 years old, you get to make the decision whether you want to be a boy or a girl now. Of course, I would have chosen a boy because I wasn't a complete effing moron. But also, I wasn't fed all of the propaganda that everybody's being fed these days. What else do we have, babe? Let's take a couple more questions, and then I'm going to head out to that beautiful chicken dinner you made.
Beckham says, John Ratcliffe seems like total deep state to me.
Oh, my God. You think, right? Here's a man that literally has spent his career in the U.S. government. And I'm telling you, he'll get some golden parachute job if he's ever thrown out of government. And we're never going to charge them with any crimes, with stealing us blind. And look at the wars. I mean, we are now talking about putting American boots on the ground in the Ukraine war. I have an enormous problem with that. When we were promised those wars are going to end. All in the war in 2 days, Donald Trump said. He gets in office and, wait a minute, a lot of money involved here. And my friends at Boeing and Rockwell International and Lockheed Martin, Raytheon, right? They don't want it to stop. And so, okay, well, let's kill just a few more 100,000 or a couple more million people. Let's see how that goes. And then we'll, of course, go in and we'll bomb Syria. And we'll let Israel just lay waste to the Middle East. And Israel has a claim to be made. They're attacked all the time, and I think that they should have been cut loose a long time ago, and it wouldn't have been as bad had Israel been allowed to go defend themselves under the Bush administration, under the Obama administration, and under the Biden administration, right? The Obama, of course, Valerie Jarrett and all those people were making the decisions for Biden. Had they been allowed to protect themselves and push back, they could have said, you know what, we got a big hammer and we're not afraid to swing it. Let's start talking peace. But they didn't. And so then all of a sudden, America knew that Pearl Harbor was going to happen. So did October 7th, did the Mossad know? Mossad seems to know everything. They ran the Diddy project and they ran the Epstein project. It sure looks like they know just about everything. And all of a sudden, you've got war breaking out everywhere. I don't know. That's it. All right. We are going to wrap it up for tonight. If you like this, let me know. If you really liked it, let me know. Please follow me on X at Sergey L. Brown, and go to my Substack and follow me there. Sergey, Serge, Sergey VS Goliath. And if you can join for $5 a month, it just helps me pay for all the stuff that I'm paying for to get this show and this movement going. Oh, speaking of that,
and if you like to read, you've got great articles you've written.
I do. Yeah, go there, and I'm gonna try to get more time to write. Also, merchandise. If you like merchandise, we're just getting ready to publish a new website, the clearskiesmovement.org website. But right now you can go to sergeyvsgoliath.com and get some Clear Skies Movement merchandise. All right, well, that is it for me. Baby, say goodnight.
Good night, all.
We'll see everybody tomorrow, 7:30 p.m. Mountain Time. Bye.